So anytime you get a vehicle, the most important thing that you should do, especially if you're buying a used vehicle, is an oil change. That's going to tell you a lot about the engine. How long has the oil been changed? If it's coming out sludgy, real nasty, black, if you smell fuel, antifreeze in it, it is so important to do that. So 2004 Chevy Silverado, 171,000 miles, engine runs really good. But there's no history of when oil changes were done. Even though it runs good, the oil could have been changed every 3,000, 5,000, or even 20,000, or never. So I've been driving it for about 2 weeks. I haven't seen any hiccups. I'm gonna give it its first oil change. I have this thing warming up to temperature, nice and hot on a hot day. I'm gonna drain the oil, let it drain for a while, keep working on another project. So let's get underneath. So at the drain plug right back here, it's 15. I don't know if this is the original, but whatever. We're still gonna take it out. Just kind of get that loose. This might be aftermarket. This thing is going to come shooting out, and it's hot. So here comes the fun part. Yeah. Oh, it looks a little dirty. It's not terrible, but definitely a lot darker. But I don't know when the last time this thing was changed. According to the percentage on the truck, it says 63% life left. Yeah, I don't like to follow that. And I don't know what type of oil this is. So we're gonna let that drain, and we'll definitely put some good stuff in there. So it's been draining for about an hour, and we should be good to go. It's got this pink stuff up here, which they like put RTV on it. Not sure if they were trying to fix a leak or anything, or just mark it, but yeah, a chunk of RTV. Not too worried about that part because it's up here and it's not on the part where it seals, so we're good. Now I am putting a magnetic drain plug. It comes with a copper washer, and I love using these. Gives you great peace of mind if there's something wrong with your engine, because if you got chunks of metal coming out, you might want to be concerned. Some may say it gives you great peace of mind. Some may say it's a nightmare, but I like to know. And I like the copper washer. I got this from Amazon. It's like 10 bucks. And I've used it for years in all different types of vehicles. I'll post a link below in case anybody's interested. It is a 17 millimeter. Nice and tight. Perfect. Now for our oil filter, I really need to get the right tool for it, but life goals. I mean, this tool works, but there's one that's a little better for it. Let's go ahead and make a nice mess with hot oil. This feels great. All right, so let's pop in this filter. This is the Mobil One M1107A. I'd rather have a Wix, but this was what was available. And these are fine. At that point, it's just a matter of preference. Now, I know you should hand tighten these, but my hands are covered in oil, and I really don't feel like going up and getting a rag, so, you know, just don't go too crazy with it. All right, sweet. Let's go up top, some oil. So for the flavor of oil, 5W30, Valvoline, full synthetic, advanced. Good stuff. Thing takes mostly 6 quarts. So let's just pop it in. Fire up, make sure we got no knocks or ticks, which we shouldn't, hopefully. So another good practice, just because this vehicle has it, just take a look at the oil pressure gauge. If you fire it up after an oil change and you see no oil pressure, you might want to be concerned. Either that, you forgot to put the drain plug in, tighten the oil filter, but at least on these Chevys, you have that, so take advantage of it. So that wraps up the oil change. Pretty simple, pretty easy. Nothing to it. I've checked the oil on it. 5 3/4 seems to be the sweet spot on this engine. I don't know, everybody says 6 quarts, but that's what works for this. Of course, the old oil, just went ahead and put it in our container, so we'll recycle that at the AutoZone. The engine sounds good. Truck's first oil change since ownership. And because the way I drive the vehicles, well, the way I don't drive the vehicles, I usually put about 6,000 miles a year, if I'm lucky, on my vehicles. Or at least my personal vehicles, primarily because I get a company vehicle. I'll probably change the oil every 3,000 miles. So it should give me about 2 oil changes. Usually I do about 4 to 6 months, and I end up with 2 a year. So synthetic, some people like to go 5,000. I think anything less than that is a waste. Anything more than that, I think it's unrealistic, but you know, choose your poison. So thanks for watching, and let's keep working more on this truck.